Alright then, welcome back to episode 3 of the HeartGold Randomizer Nuzlocke. That was my chair squeaking, or creaking, I don't know what you would call it. But we've gone through a little bit of grinding off screen, not on any of these three. These three are high enough leveled already. But I took Whiskers to level 15, just to make it a little bit more usable. I didn't particularly want it to be hanging around at level 1 for too long. I do want to use it on the team, so it just made more sense to get it done now. How am I doing for potions? I forgot to go and get more soda pops in between episodes because I'm extremely forgetful these days. So I guess I'll probably just buy some super potions to cover it in the meantime. Obviously I'd rather buy soda pops, but well, I forgot to go and get that, and I'm not going to end this part to go and get it now because I just can't be bothered. We've already started, we're going to finish. Anyway, I did figure out actually what happened to Fluffy in the last episode. I did get crit, which is reassuring to me because it just tells me that I wasn't so focused on Dynamax Adventures that I actually got a Mon killed that should have survived. It was a crit, so ultimately there isn't that much you can do about that. I need to turn auto run off as well. I had it on when I was grinding because, well, of course when you're grinding you want to get as many encounters as you possibly can. And now that I'm not grinding, I really, really do not like this encounter rate. Let's get that turned back off. Excellent. And I think this is about as far down as we got last time, so we'll just continue straight on. There are a couple more items around here I'm fairly certain of. And there's also a trainer that I forgot was here. It's actually a pretty good amount of training we can do before Azalea, which is definitely going to be good. Azalea is just an annoying gym. At least it is for me now, because they're going to have 3 extra Mons, which is just going to be fun, fun, fun. I shouldn't worry too much though. A lot of the danger of Azalea in normal runs comes from the Cypher, and I mean, she might have a Cypher, I don't know, but I don't think it's likely. Apologies, I've still got a bit of a bad cough going on every now and then. I should have sorted myself out a drink actually, because my throat's going to get real dry again. Have I got something around? I have got a 2-litre bottle of Cherryade. I forgot I bought it this morning, but I don't have a glass to put it in, so that's going to be a weird one if that ends up having to be my drink for this episode. I could pause and go downstairs to get a glass, but honestly, can't be bothered. I think this is a TM, you know. I actually thought for a second high jump kick is pretty good, but it has just occurred to me, if I miss high jump kick, that's a lot of damage that I'd really rather not take, so I think we'll pass. The pulse cells are about 700 though, so we'll take that. Real quick as well, I want to check if anything can learn Vine Whip. It's not a very good move, but it is a bit of coverage. Snowy has terrible physical attack, so no, and to be honest, Flare has better moves. Or actually, no, wait, no it doesn't. It has Smokescreen. What am I talking about? Smokescreen can be helpful, but I don't particularly enjoy strategies that revolve around lowering evasiveness or raising evasiveness or lowering accuracy. It's just cheap, and I'm really not, you know, I'm not a fan of pulling those kind of strategies out unless I absolutely have to. So if I get rid of Smokescreen, it takes away the temptation. You know, it's a good thing that you're not a new encounter, because I don't want to Parasect. I really, really do not want to Parasect. Now there are a couple of things and another encounter. I'm gonna have to buy repels. I'm gonna have to buy some goddamn repels. You know, I should have waited actually before buying those super potions, because I'm gonna have to go back to Cherry Grove in a minute anyway. I'm going to make the journey off screen just so it doesn't take as long for you to watch and I'm actually able to speed it up, but essentially I'm about to get the Old Rod, and that's going to be an encounter in Violet City, an encounter in Cherry Grove, and an encounter in Twinleaf Town, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of backtracking to actually pick up all of those encounters, and I do want to pick up all of those encounters. We absolutely don't want to miss out on something that could be really, really good, so we are going to go and get all of them. I do want to really, really quickly though I do want to skip this trainer. There we go. And another wild battle, because of course another wild battle. You know, I wouldn't mind a Starmie, but at this point in this route, you're going to have to be shiny, and I don't think those odds are very good. Right, I'm going to pause it now, and we're going to backtrack up to Violet City to get our first fishing encounter up there. So I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so a nice little backtrack, and I've made it back to Violet City, and we might as well put the fishing rod on register, because we're going to be using it for a while. Certainly more than my apricot box anyway, or apricorn box, I guess. I always mix those two up. I'm pretty sure there's even a question about it when you're getting the radio card. It's just, ooh, hello. That could be really, really good. How am I going to weaken it, though? I really doubt it has 40 HP at level 10. I really, really doubt it has 40 HP at level 10. So I think we're just going to have to hope that Icy Wind doesn't kill it. Spiritomb is bulky, so I think if I don't crit, I think it can probably survive this. Okay, it took more damage than I wanted. It would have been nice to actually get it, you know, reasonably, just into low green. I would have liked to be able to work it down into red health, but I'm not sure if it has any physical moves either, so we might not... no, you know what I can do? You know what I can do that'll weaken it down a bit more? I can move into Flare and use Vine Whip. Vine Whip, for one thing, it's resisted. For another thing, it's not stab. And Spiritomb is bulky. I am 7 levels higher, though. But it's a resisted, weak, non-stab attack. I think it can probably survive... Ooh, accidentally pressed the speed up button. Whoops. I don't think Shadow Sneak is physical. Or at least I don't think it's capable of triggering static, so... Come on, please get it into red. Oh, I think another one of those is going to kill it. I think another one of those Vine Whips is almost definitely going to kill it. How weak is Mud Slap? It's 20, but it is stab. No, that would definitely... damn it. I don't have any more ways of weakening it down. So I think the best thing we can do at this point is switch into Snowy and just try to... Maybe it has got... You know, maybe Shadow Sneak does activate static. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure Spiritomb is one of the better catch rate legendaries, so this could still be doable. She says as it breaks out in one throw. One rock even. It's, ah dear, here we are. Let's throw another Pokeball. One damn... In fact, what I'm going to do, because this is going to take a hot minute, I am going to speed it up and lower the game audio again. Because this might take a minute, but I really want the Spiritomb if it's doable. And this will make it a lot easier to just throw a bunch of Pokeball. Static does work. Okay, now we're talking. Come on, just play ball with me. Have fun. Oh yes, look at that. I was in the middle of a joke, and that's when we got it. Blessed be the existence of lowering the audio at certain points, so that your ears don't have to bleed, but believe me, mine did. What do I call this thing? I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to call it Genie, I think, because, well, it does come out of something that kind of looks like, you know, it could be a genie in a bottle, I guess. I don't know. It's a terrible nickname, but I have got nothing better to offer. And this is a very entertaining looking sprite glitch. I'm not sure what's wrong with my completely legitimate copy of this game. I'm really not certain. Anyway, let's look at the PC and see what we've got here. Please have a good ability. If it has a good ability, it's going to be great. Super Luck! Oh, let's go! If we can get Night Slash, and it has an attack boosting nature, if we can get Night Slash, this thing is going to be brutal. Oh, you're going on the team. Screw off, Marowak. I don't need you anymore. Super Luck Spiritomb. That is so good. Right, we've got 2 more encounters to do. I don't think any of them are going to be as good as Super Luck Spiritomb. I think that's a fair bet that anyone could make. But we've got 2 more encounters to do down in Cherry Grove and Twinleaf Town Is it Twinleaf Town? No, it's not Twinleaf, is it? That's Diamond and Pearls Town. What the hell is it called in this one? Yeah, I gotta figure this out. Newbark Town. There you go, Newbark Town. Well, I want to go and get those done, but I'm not going to bore you with the journey, so we'll be back in Cherry Grove City. Okay, we're back in Cherry Grove. That journey didn't actually take as long as I thought because I sped up, but I'm just going to toss the skull fossil real quick while I remember that I have it there, just so that I can't make any money off of it, so we're clear I'm not, you know, cheating to get any money back from what I spent, obviously, to buy it. Now let's see what we can get here. Not even a nibble. Well, how promising. There we go, we got something. I mean, it's not going to be as good as Super Lux Spiritomb, we know this, but it might still be nice. I mean, it could be worse. We could have found something worse than Persian. I mean, it's not terrible. It's not something I'm particularly fond of having, but it could honestly be worse. And come to think of it, I think, well, that'll be neutral anyway, so I'm fine. Thanks for the flinch, though. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that Spiritomb will learn Hypnosis soon as well, which is going to be really nice for catching mons. Okay, now I know you have Super Luck, but just don't crit this time, and we're good. Okay? Crit when I tell you, not when you want to. Thank you. I would switch into Snowy to try and get a paralysis off with static, but I really doubt we're going to need it. There you go, got it in one. Persian is not exactly hard to catch. It's one of the few mons that you actually end up getting in a random Nuzlocke that can actually be caught in the wild. Usually the teams I end up getting are all made up of starters or legendaries and just, you know, things that you can't normally find. So it's weird to get it this way. What do I call this? I'm gonna call Persian Duchess because that's the name of my cat. The only cat I have left anyway. The others have sort of, over the last couple of years, the other two have passed on. It's unfortunate, but we've still got the old girl with us, and she is a lovely cat. I should show you a picture, actually, at some point. She's really quite beautiful. Now, while I'm here, and while I remember, so that I don't have to do this again later, soda pops. I require as many soda pop as I can get. Oh, and I'm going to sell High Jump Kick too. I'm never going to use that. It's too risky. Sell the X Attack as well. I don't like using X items. I really, really don't. Okie dokie. Now we have tons of money for soda pop. 15. We'll get a whole 15. I think that should cover us a good long while. And to be honest, the more soda pop I buy now, the less I have to get when I come back here later. And it's time for another jump cut. We're going to be doing a lot of these this episode. Okay, I'm having to resume a little bit early because the egg is now hatching. Yeah, I probably should have seen this coming. Doing this journey while the egg is in the party was inevitably gonna... Are you kidding me? Why? I was hoping you were going to be something useful, but it is clearly not. I have a good name for this. Sums up my feelings about how bad an egg Pokemon this is. There we go. You are now Go Away. Because I really don't want you here. What have you got for an ability anyway? Shedskin. What a waste of an extra sensory egg. Like, I could have had extra sensory on anything, and it gave me a Spearow. It's not even a special attacker. Christ, honestly. Well, I'm not going to cut out the rest of this journey down here, because we're basically right where we need to be anyway. Here we are in Newbark Town for our next encounter. Right, well, let's see if you're better than Super Lux Spiritomb. Or let's see if you're anything at all. Damn. Oh my god, this is just not working, is it? Fish me up something. Finally, come on. Jesus Christ, honestly. Oh, wait, we got something. I did click. Oh, the game is just taking the piss out of me at this point. I clicked the button. The game just doesn't want to give me an encounter here. We're going to spend the next 20 minutes of this episode just sitting at this goddamn spot. Okay, that time it worked. That time it worked. Let's see what we got. Kabuto. I was about to call it a Kabutops, but that's the evolved form, so it's a Kabuto. I knew what I meant. A couple of tackles should weaken this thing down, right? Actually, I might want to use Stomp. Especially since it has Absorb. Yeah, I'm going to use Stomp. I don't particularly want a Kabuto, but to be honest, I'm not going to say no to one. One more tackle should get it into red health. Assuming it doesn't then use Absorb again, which, hey, you never know, it probably will. It went for Harden. Perfect, that's exactly what I needed. Right, let's throw another Pokeball. Obviously, once I've got this Kabuto, I've got to make another massive cut, because we're going to have to make the journey all the way back to where we were before we did all of this. I must say, though, these encounters were worth doing. Not for the Kabuto and the Persian, they're disappointing, and definitely not for the Spearow egg. Ugh, that's horrible. But it's definitely worth doing for a Super Luck Spiritomb. That I am not going to say no to. Come on, Kabuto, you're being more difficult than Spiritomb was. I mean, you're not. It took a lot more for Spiritomb to get in the ball, but yeah. Stop testing me, Kabuto. Stop testing me. You know what? I'll throw a couple more. I'm not that fussed if we don't get a Kabuto. And there you go. Just, you know, say that you don't want it, and that's when the capture succeeds. Every time. I have no idea what to call this. I really, really don't. So off the top of my head, I'm going to name it the first thing that comes to mind, and I'm going to call it Shelly. I have no good nicknames, okay? We know this by now. You all know this by now. Now, prepare for a really, really long jump cut again as I go all the way back to the Pokemon Center outside of the cave that I forget the name of. Right, so we're not the whole way back, but I accidentally ran into this train, and so this will have to do. I did check Persian and Kabuto while I was going... Oh, look, a Kabuto. While I was going through the Poké Center in Violet City. And believe it or not, while Kabuto has Vital Spirit, Persian has Super Luck. Now, I have no idea what the odds of two separate mons having Super Luck and being caught in the same episode, like a minute apart even. I have no idea what those odds are. But apparently it happened because that Persian has Super Luck. I'm not going to use it because it's a Persian and I don't want it, but it does have Super Luck. And I can't deny that. Well, out of the two, I think I'd much rather have it on a Spiritomb than on a Persian, to be honest. Right, Lazy Thomas. Well, down you go. Now, I would go down to the Poké Center right now, but I don't really need to. I've just... well, I healed while I was in Violet City, to be honest, while I was checking the abilities on Persian and the other one, Kabuto. I completely forgot what it was. Not my fault. Ah, dear. Let's just go with Feint Attack. Oh, man. Feint Attacks. I'm not sure if that's the right accent, actually, but someone will understand that reference. Ah, dear. I am looking forward to using Spiritomb, actually. I've used Spiritomb a couple times before in random Nuzlocks, and back in these days, before Spiritomb had any weaknesses, man, this thing was brutal to try and kill. Competitive Spiritomb, as far as I remember, because I never really used to play a lot of competitive, but competitive Spiritomb could be a real pain in the arse sometimes. It'd be almost as much of a pain in the arse as, what's it called? What is it called? Help me out, brain. Oh yeah, the Drapion and Shed Ninja pair that you can do. I don't remember exactly how you do this, because I've only ever seen it done once, and I wasn't paying that much attention, but there is a way to use Shedinja and Drapion, and I think it's to do with a move called Entertainment, but essentially you can mess things up in such a way that you give Drapion the Wonder Guard ability. Now, if you also have Drapion holding an air balloon, there is no way to kill it. At that point, there is no way to kill Drapion. you would have to roar it out or something and just have it, you know, lose the ability. But there's no way for you to directly damage it because it's immune to ground, which is one of its weaknesses at least. I'm not sure if that... No, it doesn't have another weakness, does it? Because as far as I remember, and bear in mind I could be wrong here, I'm not very good on like the effectiveness of fairy typings, I never really have been, but as far as I recall, poison resists fairy while dark is weak to it, which means that fairy is going to end up neutral to Drapion, and if Drapion has Wonder Guard, it's not going to do anything to it. So as far as I'm aware, unless I'm really overlooking something, that would make Drapion invincible, unless you had something like Roar to throw it out, which you might do, but it's not really a move that you would see on a competitive set, at least I wouldn't think so. You know, it's nice to force your opponent to switch out, but you don't know what they're going to switch into, is the problem. What I wouldn't have given to have a Metang. You know, while I was going back through the routes actually, I realised, oh Christ, this thing is high level too. I should switch out actually. But yeah, while I was going back through the routes, I realised, there are actually, what's it called? There are Beldum on the route outside of Dark Cave as well. So there's another chance I could have had to have one of the best pseudo... what do you call them? Pseudo-evolution lines ever to have been made. But I missed out on both attempts. Although, to be honest, it's not exactly easy to get a Beldum or a Metang. Their catch rate is something stupid. And it hurts. Trying to get a Beldum and a Metang in a random Nuzlocke. Oh my, it's an annoying capture. You would genuinely think you were trying to capture a legendary. In fact, in some cases, I feel like certain legendaries are easier to capture. I've had less trouble, for example, when I was playing Platinum last. No, not last. This was a few times ago, I think. But I did a Platinum Nuzlocke, and my Rotom encounter in the, what's it called, the Old Chateau, I think it is, in Eterna Forest, that randomized into a Mew. And Mew is like legendarily easy to catch among legendaries because it has the mythical catch rate instead of the legendary catch rate. I don't know if if mythicals are really considered legendaries, but whatever, I do. The point is, it was incredibly easy to catch, and I've had far more trouble catching members of the Metagross line than I have with that, just because Metagross is so ridiculously difficult to catch. It's a right pain in the neck sometimes, I can tell you that for free. We're just going to keep on using Genie. To be honest, I'm going to be using Genie for most of this episode. I really do want to get some levels on it, because Spiritomb has so much potential to be a crazy good attacker. Although this episode isn't going to be as long as I would personally like it to be, purely because I'm recording this a little bit later than I had planned. My plans for the evening did get a little bit derailed. I wanted to be recording at about, well, to be honest, about 6-ish, and it's now 20 past 7 when I'm doing this. I don't like recording past 7. Get rid of Spite for that. But this is where we're at anyway. So it's a little bit later recording than I would have liked. I'm a little bit tired. I'm one of those people that gets tired early. I mean, I can stay awake a really long time. I'm just going to be very, very tired while I'm doing it. I think there's one fisherman still up there, but I don't think he's that important that we face him. I feel like what I want to do right now, we still need to put a few more minutes on the episode. I'm not going to give you like a 25-minute episode, right? I'm going to take it to at least 30 minutes, but there are a couple of things that I know that I want to do to fill up that time. And first off, we've got a bird trainer, or what do you call them? Bird catchers, is it? Anyway, we have one of those just south of the Poké Center to actually deal with. But after that, I want to get my encounter in the cave, and I know on the second floor of the cave there's a TM, and I want to grab that too, see if we can give anything really nice to Spiritomb. Or might even give it to Snowy if it's something good like Ice Beam. Oh, if I get an Ice Beam TM, that would be nice. But now that we have Hypnosis, captures are going to be a hell of a lot easier. In fact, if we ran into a Metang now, I would make a solid bet that we could probably get it. Oh man, to be honest, I'm not feeling so good either, actually. I am tired, I know that much. But I went down for dinner earlier, and I was eating me dinner, and I had about, I don't know, maybe a third of it. and I just felt all kinds of sick. Like, for example, when I went out earlier and I bought this 2-litre bottle of Cherryade, which I still haven't touched actually. I really should, but when I went out and bought it, I got myself a tub of ice cream as well. Now, usually, I'm a really unhealthy, overweight person. It's not something I'm proud of, but, you know, I'm smart enough to admit it and not just pretend like, oh no, I'm totally fine, haha. No, I understand, I am extremely unhealthy, I'm aware of that. Usually you put a tub of ice cream in front of my face, it's going to be gone in like 5 minutes. It's been in the freezer downstairs, and I haven't really been touching it. Like, and if I'm not touching ice cream, something is wrong. Something has clearly gone wrong here. I didn't feel particularly inclined to eat dinner either. I don't know exactly what's up, but something does feel off today. Alright, so my Union Cave encounter is what? I mean, I can get it with hypnosis, I think, so I'm not too worried. Well, that's a Dupe's Claws encounter, so I can go again. You hear that, Miltank? I do not want a second one of you. Stop appearing. You watch the second encounter be something absolutely garbage. Knowing my luck, it probably will be. Oh, hey, look, it's garbage. You know, sometimes, you know, some people might say, oh, are you a prophet? To which I would say, no. I just see the future. And the future is oddish, which I called garbage because it is. See, I'm just a genius, you know? You don't need to be a prophet to be a genius, you just have to have, you know, these future-seeing abilities, which I clearly do. Oh god, do I even want this? Honestly, the only benefit to catching this is so that if I run into another one, I don't have to catch that one. I genuinely didn't think that was going to kill it. But hey, it means I don't have to catch an oddish. I am okay with that. Alright, let's see what this item is. Dragon Fang. I can't remember if that has any use in this game. I feel like it's the Dragon Scale that evolves Seadra to Kingdra. So I don't think the Dragon Fang actually has any uses. But real quick, before the end of the episode, which we are coming up to, it's going to be a shorter episode than it was before for previous episodes, but this time I just want to... Okay, you've got an Entei, that's a little bit much. But we're just going to deal with this Entei, go down into the second floor, get that TM, and that'll be it for the episode. Because I am tired and I'm not feeling all that well. In fact, I'm probably going to go to bed after this. Ah, dear. Right, Entei defeated, nice and easy. You know, when your legendary is level 9, it's not really all that threatening, but it is an appropriate mon for a fire breather, so clearly the randomizer's putting in the work. Now, as I recall, there's a hidden item, there you go, Mental Herb, then the TM is a little bit farther down here, and then there's another item up to the north. Of course, the TM is garbage, but we can sell that, so it's not the end of the world. There should be another item up to the north. God damn it. Stop giving me encounters, especially if it's garbage. And especially when I can't catch the garbage anyway. Just gonna run straight away from it. Let's grab this item up here. You know what, a quick claw could actually prove useful sometimes. I mean, it's a bit too RNG for my likings, but you honestly never know when it could be useful. But I'm going to give it a quick ending to the episode here. I'm not going to go into anything too much because I'm not feeling too great. But I hope you enjoyed this rather short episode, and I hope you like the new Spiritomb. I certainly do. And I'll see you in the next one.